Get ready for another microdose. And hey, if this information is jiving with you, then check out the full episode. The link is in the show notes. Enjoy the ride.
And I'm not saying there's no hope, but I am saying we should be starting sooner. All of us on this conversation today should be thinking about that because in the brain, there might be mild early changes, which are kind of hanging out in the brain. Nothing's happening. But if you continue to eat the fast foods, all of those negative foods, the standard making diet continuously, those changes could evolve into those cognitive changes. And we have the ability, we don't yet have a cure for Alzheimer's, but we can reverse neuroinflammation. And we can do that through our diet. And I have an easy way for us to try to remember it. It's an acronym called BOGOS. So it's B for berries and the color of the rainbow. Berries are my favorite. O for olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. G for eat your leafy greens. Everyone rolls their eyes when I talk about leafy greens, but they're rich in folate and so many nutrients that we need. O is for your omegas, so omega-3 fatty acids. And S is for spices. So turmeric with a pinch of black pepper, significant amount of evidence in anxiety. And then I throw in a C for extra dark chocolate. Since Valentine's Day is coming up, I throw that in as a bonus. Extra dark natural chocolate is rich in cacao flavor, serotonin, and magnesium. It's great for your brain. So a little piece, my clients who are coming off the candy bar and trying to find something that will kind of help their sweet tooth, have learned to eat extra dark natural chocolate, and they only want a square because they're satiated by that, and they no longer need the whole candy bar.
Yeah, a lot of that comes back to one of our previous episodes, Will, breaking up with sugar with Molly Carmel and how sugar, how you get addicted to it, but you also get numbed to the effects of it over time. Our dopamine receptors are numbed. So that affects our lives, but it also affects how much we need to eat in order to experience that same sense of joy or fulfillment that we were getting before. I'd love to talk just based on time. I know we're going to have to jump through some of our notes here, Will. The micronutrients. So, zinc, magnesium, vitamin C, vitamin D. One, what role do they play? Two is, when are we deficient or are we getting an adequate amount? And then three, what are the best natural sources of these?
So all of these are available in foods that we eat. Avocado, off the top of my head, has a lot of magnesium, is rich in the right types of fats. Vitamin C is actually found some of the highest levels in kiwi fruit and red bell peppers, along with citrus fruit. But believe it or not, those two are easy to add in. A lot of these are actually involved in several biochemical reactions in the body. And that's where they really are impactful in mental well-being. And low levels of magnesium are often associated with anxiety. And some people will some doctors will add in a magnesium supplement to help people with anxiety because it's sometimes a very easy fix, but you can also get that through diet. It's just that if someone is super anxious at that time, maybe a supplement helps them, and then they can, as they build up from their dietary needs as well. Vitamin C is not only critical for immunity, it is something that our bodies, our cells need all the time. So I think one of the ways to think about this is by eating healthy whole foods, you almost cannot count the number of micro and macronutrients that you get from that healthy plate of food. And it's almost an orchestra. All of those nutrients are getting into your body. They're helping your brain. They're helping your gut. They're helping the microbes. They're undergoing. So magnesium is, for example, involved in about 300 biochemical reactions in the body. So we need it. And they're sort of functioning in concert with one another. And if you're deficient, these are the times that if you're feeling unwell in some way, tell your doctor these symptoms because he or she can run a blood panel. The electrolytes can very easily be checked to see how you're doing. Same things with vitamin D in the Northeast where I live. Many people, because of the level of sunlight, can be deficient in vitamin D, and it's an easy fix. Vitamin D, you get 80% of your vitamin D from 10 minutes of outdoor time. but sometimes you need to supplement it because you may not be getting enough of it. And vitamin D, low levels of vitamin D are associated with both depression and anxiety. So these are, if it's anything I want you all to take away, these are easy fixes. These don't require a visit to the doctor. It could just be adjusting how you're looking at your dinner plate.
And what you're putting on it, right? For sure.
Right.
I was one thing that omega-3 fatty acids in almost every chapter, I'm like, oh my God, this is like, it's not a superfood because it's in different foods, but why are they so important to our diet? And then, how do we kind of bring them into our diet? Like I'm taking chia seeds. Like that's my source right now. Yeah. Like you said, 2 tablespoons in the morning, a little water, and I drink it back, and I'm like, hey, so why omega-3 fatty acids? Like, what is it doing for our mood, but also what is it doing for us physically as well?
Omega-3 fatty acids have a good association with helping mood and lowering anxiety in human subjects. So this is important to include in our diets. So they have an anti-inflammatory property. They work in the brain. They affect the cell membranes of neurons, and so they really are so important in terms of our everyday functioning. And you can get omega-3s pretty easily. You get them in fatty fish if you consume seafood, wild caught salmon, sardines, anchovies, to name a few. And that always, I always like to say at this point, if salmon is sort of an expensive, not in your budget, you can have a good source of, wild caught sardines. You can actually get canned wild salmon. These are good choices because they still have those omega-3 fatty acids. The plant-based sources do have the short-chain omega-3s, which is ALA, and they are found in chia seeds, flax seeds, walnuts, sea vegetables. If you don't eat any seafood and you're concerned about not getting enough omega-3s and you don't want to take an omega-3 supplement, you can take an algal oil supplement. So that's an option too. But these are, if you eat seafood and you have chia seeds and things like that, you can certainly continue to include them in your diet. Chia is also very rich in fiber and protein. So it's a really good food.
Hey, thanks for joining us on this journey. Small doses lead to big changes. If you're vibing with this snippet, then take a listen to the full episode by clicking the link in the show notes. If you would like to plug in deeper to what we're doing, head to mentalkingmindfulness.com or text MTM to 33777. Until next time, peace.